You showing off all your boogers? Yeah. Mama. All right. Let's see what we got here. Okay. We're going to see how long we can stream before my throat gets a little too sore. I am dealing with a cold. This is yours. This is from Grandma and Grandpa, so you stop grabbing my microphone. Doesn't seem to be working. There we go. This one doesn't have a light on it, but you can still chew it. Are you going to throw it? Oh, did you just spit up? Oh. All right. All right. That's just great. All right, kiddo. We're live online. You have to... Come on, look the part. Okay. So, if you can't tell, I'm sick by my scratchy voice and boogers. I don't know if I got it from her. I don't know where I got it. I don't know if it was triggered by allergies because we spent a lot of time outside this weekend. But the good news is we think Amelia's ear infection is all done. Oh. Yeah? Oh my gosh. You're adorable. And she's feeling a lot better. She's got a lot of boogers lately, so I don't know if she has allergies or if she's got just boogers, because babies have boogers. That's just how it is. Here, you want to play with this? You are so boogery today and goobery. So I've got a little story, and I think it's kind of interesting. And my parents came over on Sunday to drop off some strawberries from their garden. And I was a little surprised. No, that was Saturday. Yesterday was Sunday. So my parents came over Saturday, drop off some strawberries, which are now in the garden, and we're going to have a nice crop of strawberries this summer. I'm so excited. And Dad, I'm glad to hear that you guys didn't give me the cold or catch it from me. I hope it stays that way. So my parents come over, and usually, it's never just a stop by and leave because of the distance between our places. So we always make it worth the time. It was awesome. We went out to dinner. It was really nice. We went to our favorite taco place, and my parents really liked it. It was their first time there. Now, I only realized after they left, and I was kind of reflecting back on their visit later, that I didn't ask some questions that I should have. And I think this is interesting because my parents, we were talking about butterflies and how I have someone called irrational fear of butterflies. When they fly at me, I cringe. I get real nervous about it. And anyway, my parents, for some reason, apologized for how hard of a time they gave me about this growing up. Yeah, it's kind of a breakthrough. Where did that come from? So, being, I don't know, the peace. I've already, come to peace with, the trauma my parents have, given me, for making fun of me for all my fears and stuff growing up. That's what all those years of therapy were for. I kid, but honestly, it's not something that I've been holding a grudge against my parents for all these years. I don't blame my parents for my fear of butterflies or fish or other irrational things. But we kept it kind of light, and I guess, thinking back on it, I'm like, where did that come from? And why did it all of a sudden come up? And Mom and Dad, if you want to put it in the chat, you can, because I know you're watching. But it got me into thinking, am I, in 40 years from now, going to be having some sort of mom guilt about about this? And is that how long mom guilt lasts? And I know that there's two kinds of mom guilt. The kind that moms impose on their children, and the kind that moms feel for supposedly not doing something well enough as a mom, a lot of that is, I don't know, like self-imposed, I guess. So I don't know. I'm trying to really hard to put together a full train of thought here, but it did kind of make me wonder, where's the line drawn when it comes to mom guilt? I was trying to reflect now too. Do I have mom guilt about Amelia? And I think that there's some around, giving up breastfeeding. And, there's these recommendations to breastfeed your baby until at least 1 year old. And now even the newer recommendations are to breastfeed until they're 2 years old. And I'm done. I'm ready to be done with my breastfeeding journey. It's causing more stress, than it's worth, I think, at this point. And there's not scientifically a real reason, to really stick with it. I mean, there's financial reasons, right? Like breastfeeding is more affordable than, formula. There's a few things, I guess there's fewer ear infections is one study. But then there's a ton of these other research papers out there that will tell you, oh, it's, better for their IQ or whatever. But I've been reading this book, Crib Sheet, and the message that I get out of this book is how on earth do they actually measure that, right? Intelligence and IQ related to whether people were breastfed or formula fed. And you really can't, because if you have to think about all the other things that come into that is, how wealthy was the family and did they go to better schools? Did they grow up in a better area and stuff? So there's really not studies and evidence that can decidedly say that breastfeeding is actually better, in one way or another for babies. But I will tell you that that's not the message that new moms are getting out there. Are you dancing? You're dancing. She's grabbing her microphone again. Please don't yell in there. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Oh no, you got both microphones. How about you? Ew, Amelia. Here. Can you hold this one? So there's a lot of still, and now, and even knowing that switching to formula is totally fine and healthy for Amelia, there's still guilt about it. Like I didn't do it, I couldn't hang in there for the full year. Who knows, maybe I'll still make it there. I am still breastfeeding now. She's about 8.5 months old. Almost exactly. And we are still going, but we have switched to doing formula for several of her feedings a day. So there's that guilt, and yeah. And then there was definitely guilt too, like leaving, going to daycare. And I know that for me now, I love that she goes to daycare. It's actually, I'm very proud of the fact that we take her to the daycare that she does, because I think that she's having an awesome time there. She's got great teachers. They're working with her on, eating solids and practicing drinking water, and other things like, practicing to roll over and stuff. So, but I know for other moms, they want to be there 24/7 thinking that they're the best for their baby. So mom guilt, does it ever go away? Will it always keep coming up? And what can we do about it? And I would just say, nobody's perfect. And a lot of times you'll hear when people start going in these circles, as other people say, if your baby is alive, then you're doing good. What is it? Breast or formula fed is best, or something like that. It doesn't matter, as long as you're feeding them. Yeah. Exactly. So anyway, that's where I guess it got me into thinking about it. And Mom, I hope that you're not holding guilt for the way you raised me, because guess what? I think I came out just fine. And if you can let go of your guilt, if you have any, that might actually feel better for both of us. Because if you have guilt about something that I went through or did or something like that, it's it's gone. It's been healed. It's somehow made me who I am today. And I think that by getting over that guilt, you're kind of showing that you're proud of who I am today. If that makes sense. So maybe, I don't know if that's a message to my mom, and maybe weird that I'm doing this here instead of in person. But again, I didn't think of it until later on when I was reflecting about it. But maybe that's a message other moms want to hear too, or need to hear. Yes, you're crazy right now. You are crazy. You're crazy, crazy, crazy kid. You're crazy. You're crazy. Oh. Amelia had school pictures last week, guys. They said when we picked her up from picture day, or after picture day, they said she was the only baby that smiled in the class picture. Yeah, because you're a smiley baby. Yeah. Mom, stop it. But Amy, thanks for thanks for saying that. Yeah, feeling sick isn't super great. I think I've been a little stressed. I have a cold sore, and that always manifests when I'm overly stressed out. So there's that. Oh, I see. My dad is explaining, don't overthink the apology for butterfly trauma. It was just brought up because we had just talked about it with Dee and Chris a few days earlier. Got it. And hi, Marcus. Thanks for saying that. Guilt. What did I miss? Let it go. Let it go. That is absolutely great advice. Just let it go. If we hold on to these things, then we can't enjoy the present. All right. So I'm in rough shape, so I'm gonna actually I'm gonna sign off before we freeze up anyway. But Marcus, yeah, the thing you missed is really just, mom guilt and what causes it and how long does it last and how do you get over it. So to all the mamas out there, you're doing a great job. You really are. Every mistake that you make doesn't matter. You're doing just fine. All right, Amelia, do you have any final words? You want to say anything into the microphone? Yeah, just eat it. How's that feel on your tongue, silly? Ew, gross. Well, and we've got a drool spot on there. Yeah. Exactly, mistakes are part of the process. Well said, Marcus. I'm sure that sounds fantastic for our viewers. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in, and hopefully we'll be back next Monday when we are actually having a follow-up appointment for Amelia's kidney. So we'll talk about that and let you know how that's going. All right. See you later. Have a great week. Bye.